So UFC Fight Night Dominic Reyes versus Carlos Ulberg is taking place next weekend. And Dominic Reyes is coming off a very impressive win over Nikita Krylov where he starched him out cold. Literally the exact same shot that Conor McGregor knocked out Jose Aldo with, right? And so it kind of reinvigorated the spark around Dominic Reyes and the title run, the Dominic Reyes title run. If Dominic Reyes is able to get the belt back after he was robbed against John Jones, it could possibly be the best storyline in UFC history. So I started thinking to myself, who are the future people that Dominic Reyes is going to fight? And who do I think Dominic Reyes could beat in the division? So that's what this video is about. Tony Has Died, will be ranking potential Dominic Reyes opponents from easiest to hardest. Let's get straight into this. Someone who I think Dominic Reyes would... These are the people that I think Dominic Reyes would clearly beat, all right? Starting with Alonzo Menifield. The reason I say that Reyes easily defeats Menifield is because it seems like every time that Menifield loses, he loses by knockout. And it's kind of similar knockouts that I think that Reyes could hit on him, you know? He got knocked out against Carlos Ulberg. He got knocked out against Mirzakhanov. This dude fucking lost to William Knight. He got knocked out by OSP. You know, and even when he goes to decisions, it's razor close every single time. He's kind of like the Dan Ige of light heavyweight, if you know what I mean. But Alonzo Menifield, that Julius Walker fight, I honestly thought Julius Walker won, and I'm pretty sure that was his debut against Menifield. The Umar Sy fight, yeah, he won that fight, but he didn't do anything that was highly impressive in the fight for me to think that he could beat Dominic Reyes. So at last place, I got Alonzo Menifield, right? I think Dominic Reyes would most likely knock him the fuck out. The next person on the list, and this hurts my soul to put him this low on the list, but I think Dominic Reyes would knock out Miyang Zhang. I think the first round of this fight would be pretty interesting, and I think it would kind of go similar to the Walker fight in the sense that, yeah, I think Zhang will be very dangerous early, but it seems like he can't really take a punch. He was getting tagged up by Walker. He's pretty one-dimensional, and I hate to say it, bro, because I thought Miyang Zhang was going to be the truth of the division. But he's super one-dimensional. It seems like he doesn't have many layers to his game, and I think someone like Dominic Reyes, who has shown a really good technical ability against high-level opponents, like this dude dropped Yuri, you know, he beat fucking John Jones. I think he can handle Miyang Zhang, you know. So, unfortunately, I think that Dominic Reyes would knock out Miyang Zhang, probably round 2, surviving the early pressure of Miyang Zhang, and just not making any stupid mistakes, playing it technical. I think he should probably win this fight. The next person is someone he already beat, Nikita Krylov. Krylov is washed. I don't really think there's much to say about this because he already beat him, but I don't, in a rematch, I don't think that Krylov would stand a chance either. He just got knocked out by Guskov, making literally the same exact mistake that he made in the Reyes fight. Krylov has a lot of personal stuff going on. If you don't know, he lives on the border of Russia and Ukraine. His flag used to say Ukraine on it, and now it says Russia. So he's going through a lot of political issues right now, to say the least. So I don't think his head's in the right spot. I think he's kind of past his prime. He's making the same mistakes. I think Reyes would sleep him again. The next person I would put against Reyes is Johnny Walker, and I think Reyes would find the chin of Johnny Walker pretty easily. I don't think this is much of a question. I mean, maybe Johnny Walker has the ability to put Reyes out. I still think that Johnny Walker's chin is a huge problem for him. We watched the Miyang Zhang fight. Johnny Walker literally runs in there and just pulls guard immediately on Miyang Zhang. He got fucked up the first round. I think Reyes would be able to do that. He has much better technical ability than Miyang Zhang. He has layers to his game. He has wrestling. He has striking. He can mix it up against Walker, who we've seen struggle against people who have multiple layers to their games in the past. And the chin. I still don't think that Johnny Walker's chin is there. But that's kind of the question about Reyes is his chin still there? Because we've seen him get knocked out against Yuri, Blachowicz, fucking Ryan Spann. So we haven't really seen Reyes eat any clean punches since then. So the question is, will Reyes be able to take shots from Walker? But I think that Reyes would probably be able to hit Walker first. So I would probably pick Dominic Reyes to knock him out. The next person on the list is Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill is washed. I think we can all agree Jamal Hill is washed. Ever since he tore his ACL, he has not been the same fighter. Like, he wasn't even super impressive before that, but the footwork from Jamal Hill is just completely abysmal. I think the speed advantage for Reyes, I think he'd have a very easy time with Jamal Hill. Now, I don't think he would be able to knock out Hill. I don't know if he has the, if Khalil Roundtree, who I feel like has similar speed and power to Reyes, wasn't able to knock out Jamal Hill. I don't know if Reyes will be able to do it, but I do think he would just beat the fuck out of Jamal Hill on the feet. He's got the leg kicks. He'd be able to land the 1-2 with ease. I think that Reyes would make pretty easy work of Jamal Hill. I think he'd beat him by decision. The next person we need to talk about, and this is going to be my hot take of the video, I don't think Rakic is good at all. I think Rakic is complete shit. I don't, you could say he looked good in the Yuri fight, but he got knocked out. He was losing the Blachowicz fight. He was losing the fucking Ankalaev fight. I guess those are the top people in the division, so there's not much shame in losing to all of them, but I feel like Reyes would be able to beat Rakic, man. I feel like he's got the size. I feel like he's got the speed. He's got the good boxing. I feel like he'd get in Rakic's face. It feels like Rakic kind of folds under pressure. You know what I mean? Like, when the going gets tough, he doesn't really adapt to what he's seeing in front of him. And so I feel like if Reyes was able to mix it up, kind of similar to what Ankalaev did, he would be able to beat Rakic by decision. Take little risks in this fight. Rakic doesn't knock people out. He hasn't knocked people out in so long. He wouldn't be able to touch the chin of Reyes, I don't think. I think Reyes would probably knock out or decision Rakic. The next person we need to talk about is Volkan Oezdemir. If you didn't know, these guys fought each other in the past, and it was a pretty close fight, but that was prime Volkan Oezdemir. And it's kind of crazy to say that was prime Volkan Oezdemir because he was coming off of a fucking loss to Anthony Smith. But he went on to beat Rakic, and he went on to beat a couple of other people, right? Volkan gets the fucking killers of the division. It's kind of unfortunate for him. But in his last fight, he looked pretty good against Olberg. He knocked out Johnny Walker. He beat Bogdan Guskov, and that win has aged super well for him as well. I think that this would be a pretty close fight, but I think that Reyes would win it again. Kind of similar to the first fight. I think he would just outpoint Oezdemir to a decision. I say that Oezdemir's washed, but it kind of just seems like he hasn't evolved. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of the same exact fighter he was in 2017, and that will beat the cans of the division, like Johnny Walker and Paul Craig and fucking Jimmy Manuwa, right? But I think someone like Reyes, who was taking some time off, has, done some self-reflection. I feel like he would be able to look at the fight and make the adjustments needed to defeat Oezdemir. So I would pick Reyes to win this by 29-28 decision. Now, we're getting into the fights that are 50-50. I don't think that this version of Jan Blachowicz is the same Jan Blachowicz that beat Reyes for the title. And that's what makes me nervous about this fight, is that you watch the Olberg fight with Blachowicz. Blachowicz looked slow as fuck. He was moving, he did not look good, and he still made the fight competitive, which is what kind of concerns me going into this fight with Olberg. But the thing that really kind of makes me think that this fight would be pretty close is the fact that Blachowicz still has the power. The power is the last thing to go, and he was able to put Reyes away with the power the first time they fought each other. The question about Reyes' chin has still yet to be answered, but I do think that he would possess a pretty big speed advantage. I think on technical ability, these guys are pretty similar, but I feel like I think washed Blachowicz is I don't think he wins again, man. I've seen his last couple of fights. He looked bad in that last round against Pereira. The Ankalaev fight, I guess you could say he possibly beat Ankalaev, so I don't know, man. This would be a pretty close fight, but I just don't I can't see Blachowicz is the same Blachowicz as like 2020 Blachowicz. You know? It seems like he's past his prime. He's kind of letting people dictate where the fight goes. I think Reyes would be super aggressive in the fight. The question is, would Blachowicz be able to counter him and put him out? But at this stage of their careers, I don't think Blachowicz would get it. So I think I would pick Dominick Reyes to win this by decision. Now, we're getting into the people that possess power, and I feel like that's the big weakness for Reyes. Like, I feel like, technically speaking, I feel like Reyes is very, very impressive. He has all the tools in the tool bag, but as I said in the last video I made about chins, having a chin is the most important thing. So we get into these kind of matchups against Bogdan Guskov, and it gets kind of sketchy because Guskov has been on a tear lately. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tony, didn't Bogdan Guskov already lose the Dominick Reyes by knockout? Didn't he, basically keep telling Dominick Reyes, hit me, while they were in the cage together and curl into a ball and get defeated by Dominick Reyes? That would be a true statement, okay? But jokes aside, I think that what Bogdan has shown is his ability to knock people out is super impressive. Knocking out Span, knocking out Krylov. I know Reyes beat Krylov as well. But I feel like that's the question is, would Bogdan be able to hit Reyes? And I don't know, man. This is like a 50-50 fight. So that's why I would probably lean more towards Bogdan. Like, going forward, I'm kind of leaning more towards the other people in this matchup. But this is a 50-50 fight. I feel like Bogdan would probably be able to knock out Reyes. I don't know, though. I don't know. But I think that he would be able to knock out Reyes. But Reyes could also knock out him. I mean, we've seen Bogdan struggle in his debut against Volkan Oezdemir. But that was a lot of the grappling. And Reyes doesn't really use his grappling as much as he used to, So I don't know. I feel like technique-wise, Reyes is better. But Bogdan has the power to put him out. And so I do think that he would maybe even drop Reyes in this fight. I don't know if he would. I don't know. He might be able to finish him. But I think I would lean towards Bogdan in this fight. I think it's like a 55% chance for Bogdan. The next person on the list is Azamat Murzakanov, who has shown he kind of fights like Fedor, if you feel what I mean. Like, he's got that Fedor-ass style where he's just kind of like biting down in the pocket, walking forward no matter what, showing great kicks, but he doesn't look like he should be menacing. He's like built like Fluffy Hernandez. He's built like me. We got the same build going, I don't favor Reyes in a matchup against Murzakanov, who I think, technically speaking, is better than him, and I think power-wise is better than him. Now, when this gets into the pocket is when it would get interesting. If Reyes is the one pushing against him, I think it could get very interesting. But I feel like undefeated Azamat Murzakanov, who knocked out Brinson Ribeiro, knocked out Minifield. He didn't knock out Jacoby, and Reyes did, so that's something to say. But he's knocked out everybody except for Jacoby, and I feel like he'd be able to knock out Reyes. But Reyes would have a good chance in this fight. I think I would say like 60% chance that Murzakanov would win and like a 40% chance that Reyes would win. But I would lean towards Murzakanov if this fight got matched up. The next person we need to talk about is Carlos Ulberg. Now, I'm going to do a more in-depth breakdown on this fight probably Monday or Sunday, whenever I make my prediction video. Because, dude, if you look at the rest of the fucking card, it's shit. So, like, dude, one of the Tafa brothers is the co-main event against Ibo Aslan. Come on, man. Come on. Co-main event for a Tafa brother in 2025 is crazy. But I am probably going to pick Ulberg in this. I don't know. I like his, I don't know, man. He has one loss in the UFC, and it's the Kennedy and Zekuchu. And I do think that he probably lost the Jan Blachowicz fight. And I will say this, he's been making it extremely close with his last couple opponents. He went to a razor close decision with Blachowicz I think he beat Oezdemir, but just by a smidge. And so him going against these people is kind of concerning, but these people have chins. And yeah, I feel like on the come up, Oldberg was able to put a lot of people away. He beat up Ihor Potieria, Metafield, Du Woon Jung. He was able to knock them out. But I feel like Reyes, I don't know. I keep saying I don't know. Like, this is a fucking bullshit ass video. I keep saying I don't know. I'm like fucking fence sitting on all these fucking predictions. But I feel like Oldberg is going to get this done. 29-28 decision, or maybe even knock Reyes out. I would like to see the Reyes title run continue, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it, man. I think Oldberg was able to tag Blachowicz in their fight. I hate this narrative that he doesn't have knockout ability. He does. He's just been fighting better competition. But I feel like in terms of like durability, Reyes is a step down from the people that he's been facing. And he's been able to hit Oezdemir cleanly. He was able to hit Blachowicz cleanly. And they were able to eat those shots because they got better durability than Reyes. But I don't think that Reyes, I don't think he's going to be able to beat Oldberg, man. I want him to. I think Oldberg is pretty like an NPC. I feel like the storyline for Reyes would be a lot colder. But yeah, man, I just don't think that. I feel like I'm leaning towards Oldberg in this fight, like a 60% chance for Oldberg, a 40% chance for Reyes. I would like to see the betting line on this. I feel like it's pretty close, but for now, I'm leaning towards Oldberg. That's not an official pick. I might switch to Reyes if I think more about it, but I feel like he would beat. I feel like he would beat Reyes pretty, like, not easily, but I feel like he's gonna win. You know. And now these are the people that I think would beat Reyes no matter what, bro. Like, these are people that I'm gonna pick against Reyes every single time. Yuri Prohashka. I am samurai. I come from great village. I bring 2 men back to my hotel room, and I show them great time. I feel like Yuri would just repeat and knock out Reyes again. I mean, Reyes got knocked out with a fucking jab from Ryan Spann. I feel like Yuri would be, like, he has some of the best power in the division. He showed really good defensive ability in his last fight. And I feel like he's going to be able to storm Dominick Reyes, would probably knock him out in the pocket once again, like pushing him against the fence, beating him up. I just don't see how Reyes can win this at this stage of his career. Yeah, I feel like Yuri would just kind of maraud him, and he would find the chin of Reyes eventually and put him out cold once again. So, honestly, I would probably favor Yuri to knock out Reyes. Probably like 70% chance for Yuri, 30% chance for Reyes. The next person we need to talk about is Khalil Coultry. Now, as much as I don't like Khalil Roundtree, I have to now recognize that he actually is probably one of the better fighters of the division. He has really leveled up his game in his last couple of fights. Super close fight with Pereira. I say this, if you could drop Pereira, I'm sure you would be able to drop Reyes. Pereira is the best technical fighter. I feel like striking versus striking, I feel like I feel like Pereira is the best. And Khalil Roundtree was able to hang with him early, and I feel like he would be able to do the same thing to Reyes, who has historically been able to get knocked out early in the past. I feel like Khalil Roundtree would throw good leg kicks against Reyes, drop him with leg kicks, and after the power of Reyes is gone from the leg kicks, I don't really see what he would be able to do against Khalil. So I would favor Khalil Roundtree to knock out Reyes. So this is the top 3. So number 2, I got Magomed Ankalaev. I think we could all agree that Ankalaev would probably dismantle Dominick Reyes. But you never know, man. Reyes had that fight with John Jones. If fucking Ankalaev just underestimates Reyes like John Jones did, maybe he could have a fucking crazy performance against Ankalaev. But I think Ankalaev would take Reyes down. I feel like he would clinch him, push him up against the fence with ease. I feel like he would be able to land low kicks. I feel like he would be able to chop like in the pocket with Reyes. He'd be able to eat his biggest shots. Ankalaev's never been knocked out before. But I will say this. I feel like the power of Ankalaev is a bit overrated. He has knocked people out like Johnny Walker. And, I don't think that that's super impressive, to say the least. But I keep saying I need to stop saying that. Ankalaev's just like pressure is going to be too much for Reyes in this fight if it ever got booked. So, yeah, I would definitely pick Ankalaev. I feel like he beats him like 9 out of 10 times. And finally, I got Alex Pereira. I feel like Alex Pereira would be the hardest matchup for Reyes. Ankalaev has better grappling than Reyes. He was able to Pereira was able to stuff all the takedowns. And I feel like kind of similar to, I don't know. I was about to say Sean Strickland, but I feel like he would be able to find the chin in the first round. He would land that left hook similar to the fight with Strickland, where I feel like if Pereira touches Reyes once, it's over. Like he just touches the chin of Reyes and he would crumble. He's better than him technically on the feet everywhere. And he's got a better chin than him. He's got better power than him. So, yeah, I would favor Alex Pereira to knock out Dominick Reyes. Probably 100% of the time. Now, yeah, man. I feel like Pereira and Ankalaev are the hardest fights for Reyes. I feel like maybe he could beat Khalil, Yuri, and Olberg. I feel like 50-50 fights with Blachowicz, Guskov, and Mirzakhanov. And I feel like he would beat all the other people in the division. But that will do it for the video. If you like the video, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm ready to get this shit out of my nose. This fucking shit in my nose is pissing me off because I'm having to pause the video every 6 seconds so you don't hear me sniffling, and you still hear me sniffling. I'm ready to get this shit out of my nose. But that will do it for the video. Peace.